Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about Bryan battle, Tresean Gore, the Ultimate Fighter finale actually happening. It's happening this Saturday. Let's get into it. Prediction.
Ante Tocumbo, Aaron Rodgers, Conor McGregor versus Tony Ferguson.
This doesn't happen very often. I'm not one for the hype train. Khamzat Chimaev, Sean Brady, Islam Makhachev. I've bought into Sean O'Malley. If you follow me on Twitter, at capital THE, capital CONNOR, capital PENA, capital S, capital S. I've been talking a lot about football lately. It's just because it's the playoffs. As we move forward, I will be getting back to MMA. I talked about Bellator. I don't know if anybody watched Bellator. Crazy, right? Ryan Bader. Anyway, I don't get into the hype train. When I was watching Tresean Gore fight in his semifinal match with Gilbert Urbina, I remember thinking to myself, this guy could get to a spot where he could beat Israel Adesanya. And we've seen this before. As far as Fighter A looks great. Fighter A climbs up. Fighter A dominates. Fighter A gets crazy big victories. Fighter A starts to be a little more complacent, becomes a decision fighter. Fighter A gets lazy. Fighter B is now that fighter who's on the rise that everyone's talking about and beats Fighter A. That's what I could see happening for Tresean Gore. The last time Izzy Adesanya defended his belt was against Paulo Costa. Last time he fought Robert Whittaker, who he's fighting in 2 weeks. Both of those fights. Amazing, crazy knockout finishes. He's doing the little guns thing. Like, he's going crazy. His fight with Marvin Vettori was kind of meh. And I can see a situation now, getting the vibe Robert Whittaker might try to grapple more. We'll talk about that fight later. But it's getting to a situation where Izzy is starting to seem like he's more cool with just getting decision victories and focusing on his YouTube channel and building his brand better and different things like that. This is a perfect opportunity for someone who's on the rise right now, who in a couple of years might bump into Israel Adesanya because who else is going to fight them and beat him? I could see that from Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore's striking is phenomenal. What's great about Tresean Gore is he doesn't get taken down very easily either. And something that I noticed when I watched The Ultimate Fighter, if you can remember that far back, it was that the best fighters wanted to fight him. Right? The vibe in the room was, and this was the huge advantage for Brian Ortega, was that Andre Prochazka, Tresean Gore, those were the best 2 middleweights there. And Brian Ortega got both. Now, obviously, Andre Prochazka is not as good as people said. Tresean Gore was though. Like, Tresean Gore fought fighters who were like, I want to fight the best person in here. Tresean Gore looked the scariest. Everybody said that Tresean Gore was the guy that they did not want to face, right? Or the fighter's like, I'm going to face you and beat you and take you down. And the big thing when it comes to Tresean Gore is that he has all the intangibles of being an amazing fighter. But now we flip the coin and look at Bryan Battle. Bryan Battle is the exact type of person to beat a guy like Tresean Gore. Bryan Battle, there was a scene in the show where I think they actually just watched Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Weili. That's how long ago this show was, right? The first one, not the second one. I apologize. And Bryan Battle goes to the backyard, gets on the treadmill, and just starts running. And he says, I just wanted to let you guys know what you're up against because no one's going to outwork me here. And everybody starts talking smack. And everybody starts saying da, 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 da. And that's the thing. You'll notice that in life. People do a lot of this, but they don't do a lot of action. A lot of people were talking smack to Bryan Battle saying that you're just saying you're going to outwork us. You're not as experienced as us. Yada, yada, yada. We're better than you. And then he wins the Ultimate Fighter. Think about how he beat Andre Prochazka. Prochazka was in very good control of that fight, but he got caught. The reason he got caught was because he thought it was going to be an easy fight. Bryan Battle does not just go down easily. And I'm very excited. I hope both of these fighters, if Andre Prochazka deserves to be on events and in prelims and on cards in the UFC, and he deserves a UFC contract, for losing the Ultimate Fighter and not even like losing in the finals, but losing in the semifinals, then certainly these two do as well. So, getting to the official fight prediction, I like Tresean Gore to win this fight. And a first round knockout, like first round TKO, actually, because Bryan Battle's a tough dude. I don't think it's going to be very close. I don't think it's going to be very contested. But I remember a buddy of mine said this: it's going to be a great fight. And the reason for that is because that's just what Bryan Battle does. It's actually very similar to the main event that we have going on. That even if Sean Strickland's in trouble or has issues, he can still win. Because that's just like fighters just fight. And Bryan Battle's a fighter, hence the last name. But let me know what you guys think, because I think this is a slam dunk, easy win for Tresean Gore. But let me know what you guys think. Who do you like? Tresean Gore, Bryan Battle? Let me know in those comments down below. Make sure you click that like button while you're down there. Show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content. But most importantly of all, have a good day.